All right, we know the draft order for 2026, at least the top 18 picks we know. So we're going to go through now. We're going to do a Dynasty rookie mock draft for 2026 with all the rookies, and they have projected landing spots and draft capital. Here is the draft capital and all the landing spots on the screen. We'll put a big graphic up so you can see where everybody went in this draft. Obviously, a very interesting draft, and I'll say this. Number one, there are some, of course, with all mock drafts from Athlon Sports. It's only 3-round mock we could find right now. There's lots of picks in here I do not think will happen. And also, this is probably best case scenario in my opinion. I do not think it's going to go this well. That's just my 2 cents, but let's play it out like it's going to go well, I guess. Let's see if, we can't get some happy things happening here. Number one, I'm going to take Jeremiah Love here. Goes to the Chiefs at 9. The Chiefs aren't taking Love. The Chiefs aren't taking Love in my opinion. I think this would be very, very uncharacteristic of Andy Reid to take a running back in the top 10 picks with the year the Chiefs just had. But if he did go here, you would take him 101. You wouldn't even think about it. You're taking him 101 no matter what. I don't even care about the Chiefs landing spot. It would be great. Obviously, it's not happening, but I would take Jeremiah Love, obviously 101 no matter what, especially if he gets the top 10 draft capital like we project. He goes to the Chiefs.
I said I was going to do something before
Please don't.
We did this video, and I'm actually not going to do it.
Thank goodness.
As long as we have a blue tier wide receiver in this class, you have to take Jordan Tyson going to the 106 to the Cleveland Browns. And in this mock, Carnell Tate actually goes ahead of Jordan Tyson to the Titans at the 104. And again, we talked about this in our not our mock draft, our rankings video last week. But if Carnell Tate goes in the same range as Jordan Tyson, whether it's a couple picks ahead, a couple picks behind, in theory better landing spot, I don't really care. I'm taking the guy who is literally 2 tiers above where Carnell Tate currently is being graded in the bakery. His analytics are so much better. I do think his upside is quite a bit higher as well, just in terms of his athletic ability, his skill set, etc. To Cleveland, honestly, we'll see what ends up happening there, who their new head coach is going to be, what the quarterback situation is going to look like there. I don't know if they'll draft a quarterback this year or if they'll draft a quarterback next year. I would probably bet that they're going to draft a quarterback in 2027. That's just my guess, and give Shedeur one more shot for one more year. I could be wrong there, but honestly, I will say I think whether it's Shedeur or some nameless dude, I think Jordan Tyson to Cleveland is a fine landing spot. A lot of people will view it as ugly. I really just view it as a neutral. There's a lot of sucky teams that are drafting top 10 this year, and you kind of just have to live with it. And there have been successful, productive wide receivers in Cleveland in the past. So,
all right, 103. I mean, Nate didn't spoil some things here. I think I have to take Tate. Like Tate got top 5 draft capital here. And again, part of this would be at this point, I would be taking Tate, not because I'm oh, he's definitely a top 5 wide receiver. As you heard us talk about in our rankings video, we're a little bit conservative on that. But for market value alone, I'd have to take him here. You'd have to. He would be extremely valuable in Dynasty Fantasy Football. I would be stupid not to take him here. He goes to the Titans. Obviously, I like that landing spot. I think him and Ward would be a good fit. I'm a little bit higher on Ward than I was at the beginning of the season, just because at the end of the season I thought he actually looked pretty good. And if again, you got a wide receiver with a decent analytical profile, getting this draft capital, I think from a Dynasty value perspective, you have to take him. Even though he wouldn't be my favorite prospect to ever go in the top 5 from a wide receiver standpoint, I would be taking Carnell Tate if he went to the Titans here.
All right, this is my breaking point. If Jadarian Price goes mid-second round to the Minnesota Vikings, people are going to lose their crap, and deservedly so. You absolutely should. This is the landing spot for day 2 running backs that we've been dreaming of for years and have not gotten it. And this really does seem to be a missing piece for the Vikings offense, and has been for the last couple of years. They have no issues in the passing game, at least when they have a competent, even backup level quarterback, not named JJ McCarthy. They're totally fine there. They need to really lean on the run game more than they have been able to since KOC has been there. And Jadarian Price going there is an absolute dream. So I think it would be wheels up for Price. Again, the draft capital will help elevate his analytics and his value quite a bit, as expected. Again, Price would not be declaring to the NFL draft if he and his agent didn't know something. I would expect Jadarian Price, honestly, to be a pretty solid early to mid day 2 pick.
Yeah, that would be... I would love that if that happened, honestly. I would be freaking out. Okay, yeah, no, I'm going to take Mekhi Lemon. I'm not getting out of a draft like this without my guy. Mekhi Lemon, flag plant, Avery Huffman flag plant, ladies and gentlemen. I love Mekhi Lemon. I don't love the Jets, but in this mock draft, I actually don't mind Mekhi Lemon going to the Jets, and you'll see why here in about 3 or 4 picks, but I think I would really like the new tandem there in New York if this draft were to actually happen. So Mekhi Lemon, obviously, wide receivers have, he goes to 116 in the mid-first. Wide receivers completely different value-wise from quarterbacks in Dynasty right now in the sense that wide receivers are more scarce and they tend to hold their value better. They're more insulated. So I would take Mekhi Lemon here before we start getting into some of the other positions.
Jonah Coleman, 206 to the Houston Texans, replacing not even Joe Mixon, replacing Woody Marks and Nick Chubb. Like they need a better running back there. The fact that they were, again, able to make the playoffs this season after a really slow start, a lot of injuries on the offensive side of the ball with no run game, no Joe Mixon all season, like they could definitely improve there and just, again, maintain the success that they've had since D'Amico Ryans has been their head coach. And I think this would elevate their offense quite a bit. I think Jonah Coleman fits this type of offense very well. He's not super flashy. He's not like a big burner or anything like that, but between the tackles, he's very physical, good pass pro as well for CJ Stroud, which is very valuable. He'll get a lot of reps, a lot of opportunities just being on the field. Very possession style running back where you can just run out the clock and slow down the game with a guy like Jonah Coleman. This is literally perfect for a guy like him.
There's quite a few other guys I could consider taking here.
I think it's QB time.
I was going to say, I'm going to follow my heart.
Yeah.
And I'm going to take my GOAT, my king, Fernando. Zoom in, Siri, enhance. Yeah, that's right. You see that little piece of confetti? You know what that's from? Big Ten Championship. I was really hard to catch a piece of confetti falling from the ceiling, by the way, because it kept like moving around everywhere.
Yep.
Very, very difficult.
Hand-eye
coordination.
It was difficult.
It was very hard.
I think I grabbed one too.
Yeah, so that's my Big Ten Championship confetti. Look, Mendoza goes, if Dante Moore to go 101 and Mendoza go 102, this is the Stroud-Bryce Young comparison from a couple years ago. It doesn't really matter which one you take first. I'm an IU fan. I'm taking Mendoza over Dante Moore. I don't give a crap what the NFL draft says. I'll play Dynasty with my heart for once. I love Fernando Mendoza. He's flipping awesome, as he would say. And I think the Jets, I'd rather him go to the Raiders probably. I just would. But him being paired with Mekhi Lemon, my two favorite prospects in this draft going to the same spot, I'd be pretty okay with that. And I think Mekhi Lemon would eat. I think Mendoza obviously is going to eat wherever he goes. And so I'm going to play with my heart for, in this hypothetical scenario, I can play with my heart because it doesn't actually count for anything. I'll take Mendoza going to the Jets here at the 107.
Yeah, I'm not going to do anything cute here at the 108. I'm going to go with the other guy that goes 101 in the NFL draft to the Las Vegas Raiders, where they take the shot on Dante Moore. Dante Moore and Mendoza will be back-to-back all the way up to the NFL draft and in your dynasty drafts after the NFL draft, because they're both going to be top 3 picks. So whoever goes 101, it's anybody's guess right now. Right now, the odds are like right back-to-back, neck and neck with both of these guys. I think Dante Moore to the Raiders is, again, it's a landing spot. He'll have Brock Bowers, which is great. They also go into this draft in the early second, and they end up drafting Chris Brazzell as well, who will be taking probably in the next few picks, I would assume, being paired with Dante Moore. But again, like I do think that there is an avenue for him to excel here. They're just going to have to build their offensive line around him. He's very mobile. I do think his athletic upside is very high. Everything that I've seen from Dante Moore at Oregon this year has been really solid. He's a good player. And I think he's very deserving of being a top 3 pick in the NFL draft.
I mean, there are lots of guys I could continue to take here, so it would get a little bit tough, but I'm not seeing like a glaring running back selection here. Mm-hmm. And so really what you're getting down to is there were 2 wide receivers taken in the late first, there was a quarterback taken in the late first, and then there was a tight end taken here in the mid first. I think if this were to happen, I think people here would be very tempted to take Chris Bell, who went to the Bills at 124 here at the 109.
I agree.
And I think if Chris Bell coming off a torn ACL gets that investment from a team and gets that investment from an organization that is a perennial playoff and Super Bowl contender with Josh Allen, I think this is going to be where Chris Bell would go in this hypothetical scenario. So I would probably start taking these guys here. I'd probably take Chris Bell here. He goes, again, at the 24th overall pick in the first round of the Bills. We'll see if the injury doesn't scare people away from drafting him. But if this were to happen, I think Chris Bell would be a guy who would go in the first round of Dynasty rookie mock drafts. And again, we've got all these resources here, the bakery, we've got the vault, we've got all these things available to you guys if you want to check it out on the site. And again, you can get a free team blueprint with the annual Mother Flocker tier. So if you want us to take a look at your team, tell you what to do with your rookie picks, tell you who to move, who not to, you can check it out. I got the link in the pinned comment. You can get that free when you unlock all the different rookie materials we've got as well.
I'll go ahead and take Kenyon Sadiq here, the first tight end off the board. 119
my
to the Carolina Panthers. In this scenario, the Panthers will just continue to build their weapons around Bryce Young, who has really taken a step forward every single year since he was drafted and had one of the worst rookie seasons that we've ever seen. Very impressive to see this climb. And again, there are a lot of flaws in Bryce Young's game still, but his wows are wow. And there are moments where he literally lives up to like the Drew Brees comps in terms of like how he wins, how surgical he can be within the pocket and navigating it. He can push the ball downfield. Despite his size, he's really been able to, I think, like conquer all the size questions that people have had with him at the NFL level. And he's so freaking clutch, it's not even funny. Like his game-winning drives, his first couple of years have been very, very impressive. When they're in a game, there's a good chance that they're going to win it if it's close at the end. And I think Kenyon Sadiq would be a really nice addition to pair with a number one X like Tet McMillan, and then you've got your complementary pieces like Coker, like Leggett, who's your exclusive deep threat. Coker's your slot guy. Like Kenyon Sadiq would be the guy that would work the shorts at intermediate and be so nice as just a like not just a hot read for Bryce Young, but a reliable option that he can get the ball to at any point in time. I think this would really help complete their passing game and help Bryce Young take another step forward.
I'll go Casey Concepcion here at the 111. Our last first-round wide receiver selection in this draft, again, this is probably the best-case scenario for the amount of wide receivers taken in the first, goes to the Eagles. I think a lot of people would be pretty low on this because of A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith being obviously the wide receivers 1 and 2 there for the next couple of years. But, you know, similar to JSN, similar to Emeka Egbuka, I think there's going to be opportunity for him if he were to be drafted in a situation like this to... I'm not going to make this mistake again. I will take him. If he went in the first round, he's a decent prospect. I would take him here at the end of the first. Again, end of the first that we're not super high on this year. We don't really love 2026 late first, but I think it would be Casey Concepcion time at this point.
Yeah, I struggle with who I should go with here.
Yeah, there's not a right answer.
I'm going to go with the, I think, only third round running back off the board. And that is Justice Haynes going to the Jacksonville Jaguars. If this happens, this would be with the assumption that they let Travis Etienne walk, and then it's literally just Bashal Tutin and Justice Haynes. And it is a free-for-all in training camp. Whoever looks better and fights more earns it and gets the number one job. It could end up being a true committee there as well in 2026. It's very possible for a third-round pick like Justice Haynes. His analytical profile isn't anything pretty, but there is absolutely a chance, and I think people would be really excited about that in an offense that has looked to prioritize running the ball this season, and that's how they found so much success, won the division, made the playoffs, etc. There would be a really good chance for Haynes to be a massive, massive riser if he gets this landing spot.
And I will say this, I think the one thing that's actually kind of realistic about this running back, there's only 4 running backs taken in the first 3 rounds. I think it could be even less than that, but obviously outside of Jeremiah Love.
This is how I envision it, honestly.
Outside of Jeremiah Love, the 2 guys we have ranked in the tier above everybody else are Coleman and Price, who both went in the second year. I think they probably go in the third. And then Justice Haynes, somebody else, a surprise guy sneaks into the third. Haynes and Emmett Johnson would be the 2 next guys.
One sneaker, because Coleman and Price are we're very confident that they'll go day 2.
I like Coleman and Price a lot. And so I think that is kind of realistic in the sense that right now we're going to get in this early second. We're not going to be taking running backs here. There are no running backs to be taken. Also, I would be a little bit scared to take Justice Haynes at the 112 with third round draft capital after getting burned by Caleb Johnson with that exact same draft capital last year. And so with a weak analytical profile as well, and I don't like his film, I would be scared. But with that being said, I think there's multiple second round wide receivers here I could take from, and then there's a first round quarterback. There really is no wrong answer, but I, in this instance, would probably take Denzel Boston. He has the highest analytical profile of the guys left from the wide receiver position. He got drafted in the early second round to the Miami Dolphins. He has the opportunity to play alongside Jalen Waddle. Obviously, Tua won't be his quarterback, but you saw in that offense last year, you had guys like Darren Waller being productive in that offense. So I think Denzel Boston could easily be productive in an offense like the Dolphins, depending on who the quarterback is there when it's all said and done. Obviously, the Dolphins didn't really draft a quarterback here, so they would be picking somebody up. Maybe it's like Mac Jones. Maybe it's a Kyler Murray, something like that. But it's just deciding between these early, second round wide receivers and then, Ty Simpson and whoever else. Like, I think I probably lean Denzel Boston here because I like him as a talent the most.
I'm going to go ahead and take Ty Simpson.
Yeah,
can't let him off the board or
He's
can't
safe
any longer. This is the Jackson Dart experiment again, and you're just crossing your fingers hoping that it works. Jackson Dart last year, if you remember, fell as late as the mid-second because he was a late first-round pick to the Giants, not a landing spot that a lot of people wanted to see for him, but he did get first-round draft capital, enough investment where you knew that he was going to get a starting chance, a starting opportunity. And for a team like the Steelers who refuse to lose more than like 8 or 9 games every single year, really 8 games because they've been 500 or above in the whole Tomlin era. This is one where like Ty Simpson does have a chance at being their long-term option if he really does hit, and you can't not take that shot, especially in this class and how weak the depth is in the early second.
Yeah, I think the big difference between like a Dart and a Simpson is their bakery analytics. Honestly, Dart was one that went in the like 120s and had a really good bakery
He was a blue
score.
tier guy.
He was actually really good analytically, and to be honest with you, Ty Simpson's kind of the opposite. So that's kind of why I was avoiding him, and I was just going to let you take him. I'll take Chris Brazzell here, who goes to the Raiders at the beginning of the second round here. He's the highest wide receiver that was drafted left on the board. He goes and he's going to be playing alongside Brock Bowers and Dante Moore. I think he would probably be the wide receiver one there. I mean, I don't know who else would be at this point. Obviously, Jacoby Myers isn't there. Trey Tucker, I don't think would beat him out. So, like, I'm comfortable taking a shot here. It's an early second. The late first, early second this year I don't like. And so when you're getting an early second round pick at wide receiver here, I think that's what you have to do at this point, kind of take your medicine pick.
It gets really ugly at this point. I will stick with the analytics, and I'll take a shot on a tight end where once you get to this range, mid, late second, third round, the guys that generally maintain or gain a lot of value heading into their rookie season are these tight ends. Max Clare is the next guy off the board here going to the Falcons in the mid-second. It's a very interesting landing spot. This would also be with the assumption that they move on from Kyle Pitts. So, again, that's why you see this landing spot here. I'm not taking Max Clare assuming that Pitts is going to stay. This would be a replacement move, and Claire has a good enough analytical profile where I would be okay selecting him here in the mid-second.
Yeah, no, I think that's probably smart. I think all of us are. I think we're both trying to dancing around the same picture that we don't want to take. I'm just gonna stinks.
I almost took him.
I know it stinks here because you've got Jeremy Bernard who went to the Colts in the mid-second, but then all these wide receivers here that all went in the second round. At this point, I feel like all of them have about the same hit rate. I'm taking Omar Cooper. Are you kidding me? I'm taking my guy. I'm taking my boy. You took who?
I took Max
Clare. Okay, I'm gonna write him down. I'm gonna take Omar Cooper Jr. here. He goes to the Patriots. And how did you describe it?
Demario Douglas, but better. A do-over on Demario Douglas.
A do-over on Demario Douglas, but better. We love Omar Cooper Jr. We've watched him all year. Obviously, Indianapolis kid, was recruited by Tom Allen, Indiana, stayed when Kurt Cignetti arrived, and he's been a baller. He's a baller shot caller. This guy is awesome, and we love him as a prospect. So if he were to go to a situation to a wide-open wide receiver room where the Patriots haven't taken another wide receiver in this draft, in the second round, I'm definitely fine taking essentially a dart throw. You're getting this year, the 205, 206, you're in dart throw territory. Last year, you were getting Tootin and Scat here. Now, these are not those level of prospects, let me tell you. But Omar Cooper Jr., we love him, and so I'll play with my heart when I get to them. If I'm getting stuck with mid-seconds, I'm taking the guys I like here.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and take Jeremy Bernard. He's the earliest guy remaining. I like Jeremy Bernard. I like his skill set. He goes to the Colts here at the 215, which I don't think is a good landing spot at all because it's so crowded there. You have Tyler Warren, Alec Pierce, Jonathan Taylor, Michael Pittman, Josh Downs. Again, this is another one where you would assume if they go get Jeremy Bernard, they're probably moving on from Michael Pittman or Alec Pierce, one of those two guys. And then Jeremy Bernard would fill those shoes, even though he doesn't have the same skill set. He's literally a gadget Debo type of guy. So I could see Shane Steichen messing around and having fun with him in terms of play calling, but I don't really know how much fantasy production consistently you would see as a result from this landing spot. So that's kind of why he's fallen quite a bit.
I'm not taking these second round wide receivers here. They have terrible hit rates. They're all in terrible bakery tiers. I would not be taking them.
Take tight ends, man.
I'm going to take the tight ends. The tight ends have a much better shot at increasing in value. Crazy statistics that we'll talk about in a video here soon. But I mean, if Eli Stowers goes to the Chiefs in the early third,
he'll go earlier than this. He'll probably go early second. Yeah.
I'll just take him here with a great landing spot. He's the Kelsey replacement. At this point, what if Kelsey might be retired or he's 1 year away from retiring? I'll take Stowers. I don't want to take any of these wide receivers, and I don't care what happens. Again, we're into a portion of this draft already at the mid-second that is so weak that it really doesn't matter. You can just take the guys you like this year. That's kind of where I'm at.
Yep. I'll go ahead and take Jamari Johnson. Going to the Denver Broncos at the 231.
Yeah, that's a good pick.
He's a tight end that's been playing behind Kenyon Sadiq technically, but he's had a decent amount of production this year at Oregon. So expect him to be a significant riser if he does get draft capital that's this good to a landing spot where Sean Payton has been very open and very clear about how much they want to have a really good role player at tight end, a guy that's going to be a big difference maker. They tried with Evan Ingram this year, and it just wasn't consistent. It wasn't very good at all. And this would be a fresh start, a new nice little re-roll, see if they can hit on something like Jamari Johnson in the late second.
I'll take Zachariah Branch here at the 209. Goes in this mock draft to the 49ers at the end of the second. Bad draft capital. Not a good analytical profile. I'm telling you guys, if you haven't picked up on this, the second round this year is cooked. I don't even feel very comfortable in this hypothetical scenario drafting at the 201 in this draft.
No.
Boston got second round draft capital.
Yeah.
Second rounders are cooked. This is ugly. I'm gonna take who I think will have the most name value in Dynasty that I could sell them off for. That's what I would be doing at this point.
Yeah, give me Michael Trigg going to Houston. This would be probably like a project pick until they move on from Dalton Schultz. We have seen Dalton Schultz have some really good productive seasons with Houston since he's moved there, and CJ Stroud, again, likes his tight ends. So if Michael Trigg could develop out of Baylor, a lot of people like him as a prospect. I know Ryan does. His Bakery score is fine. It's nothing to write home about. He is in the same tier there as Jamari Johnson, who I just took earlier as well. So we'll see what happens with him. He's a redshirt super senior, 23 and a half years old right now. He'll be 24 heading into the 2026 season. But an interesting kind of upside shot just given his landing spot.
Probably smart for me to take Eric Singleton Jr., who went at the late second here.
Yeah, I keep taking all my guys
to the Rams. Like I best landing spot by far in this. I trust the offense coordinator and the head coach there happen to be the same person. More than anybody else in this range. So I'm gonna take him. And
I'm just telling you guys, by the time that we get to the mid to late second here, any and all relevant day 3 running backs will be off the board, or they will be going in this range.
All one or two of them.
There's not going to be a ton of them.
No.
But again, names like L.J. Martin, maybe risers like Heidenreich, maybe Roman Hemby, maybe the guy out of Pitt.
The Penn State guys,
Katron and
Reed,
Nick Singleton.
from Pitt,
when they go 5th, 6th rounds, they're going to be going here in the late second. Just
Emmett Johnson somewhere, Marcellus Hawkins, those guys.
Yeah.
I agree with you.
But
please take them. Please take them.
Yeah, for the 212 here, got to take Elijah Surratt going to the Commies. This would be an interesting landing spot. Again, once we get to the 3rd round, I think names are a lot sexier than the actual draft capital, and the realistic hit rates for receivers with this draft capital, I mean, they're in the absolute toilet.
They don't hit, dude.
Yeah, so you can say this is a great landing spot, great situation for Elijah Surratt as a 3rd round pick. And it's just not that good. It's not good at all, really at all. Great back shoulder guy. Again, we love him. We love his skill set. Have loved watching him the last couple of years with IU's rise, following Sig to Indiana from JMU.
Yeah, buddy.
He's an older prospect, very mature. I think he's ready to go. How much can he develop and get even better at his craft, especially as a route runner? I'm not sure. We'll see. But if anybody could do it and if anybody could excel, it would be in the Commies situation with Jaden Daniels throwing him the ball.
And again, why are we taking Surratt here? Because we want to. That's why.
And I don't want to take Jacoby freaking Lane.
Honestly, no, I don't want to take Antonio Williams to the Steelers.
Yeah.
Honestly, we're recording this video early because I'm traveling this week that it's being released. And so at this point, they will know, and we will know, who won the IU Oregon game. Will have already gone. And
yeah, I know.
So if IU lost,
there's going to be a lot of comments.
We're going to be pissed.
Mm-hmm.
If IU won, though, we're pretty happy. And
that's
we'll be
why,
in Miami.
That's why I feel like we should have, like, as an offering to the college football gods, selected Dante Moore first over Fernando in this draft.
Why did you not tell me that? That's probably a good idea.
Yep.
Drop a like on the video. Make sure you subscribe. Hopefully the Hoosiers won. If not, we hate our lives right now.
Yep.
And again, check out, if you want to check out the bakery, the vault as well. We've got it all on the site posted for you guys. We have the link in the comment. Love you guys. Appreciate you. We'll see you soon.